always keep smiling, for life is a beautiful thing, and there are so many reasons to smile. Marilyn Monroe. Life is like a painting with many hues, some muted, some vibrant, but it's the smile that adds the color to make the canvas come alive, warmer, and more vivid. When we smile, we send out positive signals, like butterflies gently fluttering through the hearts of those around us, soothing the small scratches in their souls. A smile is like a flower blooming under the morning sun, simple, unassuming, yet full of life. And most importantly, smiling is also how we heal ourselves, for behind every smile lies a belief that life, despite its storms, still holds so much beauty worth loving and hoping for. So, smile more, not just to show others your happiness, but to let your own heart know that you are truly living in joy. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing Walt Disney. Ideas, plans, or promises, no matter how beautiful, are merely invisible words if not nurtured by action. Words can paint a picture, but only when hands start moving does that picture take shape. Action is like a seed planted in the soil, while words are but a passing breeze. The breeze may caress, but only the seed can sprout. When we dare to act, every small step becomes a brick in the foundation of our dreams. The beginning doesn't need to be loud or grandiose, but only a decisive move, a choice to step forward. Remember, every long journey starts with a single step, and that step only appears when we stop talking, stop hesitating, and let our heart and hands speak in unison through action. When you undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue who you are. Oprah Winfrey. A person's worth is not just in their talents, but in how they cherish their own efforts and achievements. If you belittle your own hard work, others will assume it's worth little, like a precious gem covered in dust. If you don't polish it, no one will see the brilliance within. Confidence is not arrogance, but a quiet affirmation. What I do has value, and I deserve to be recognized. When you believe in your own worth, the world mirrors that belief. But if you doubt yourself and shrink back, your light will dim in the eyes of others. So, learn to cherish yourself as an artisan treasures their creation. For when you shine from within, the world cannot help but pause to admire. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Destiny is not an invisible thread binding you, but a blank canvas on which you paint your life story. No one can decide your path for you, nor can any force dictate who you'll become if your heart has already made its choice. People often blame fate when they stumble, but in truth, every small decision you make each day shapes the strokes of your future. If you choose courage, you become a stronger version of yourself. If you choose persistence, you become a victor. And if you choose to believe in yourself, you become the dream you've always longed for. Destiny is not written in the stars, but in the actions and choices you make today. And the only person you must become is not someone else, but the most beautiful version of yourself. The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me. Ayn Rand. In life, some wait for permission, for others' approval, before taking action. But those who truly rise understand that the power to decide lies in their own hands, independent of anyone else. It's like a mighty river. It doesn't wait for a path to be cleared, but carves its own way through the rocks. Those with resolve don't ask, "Am I allowed to do this?" They ask themselves, "Who can stop me?" That is the strength of belief, of determination. With that spirit, you no longer live within the narrow frame of permission, but in the vast sky of freedom, daring to step, to act, to assert. And then the world will have no choice but to make way for you, for nothing can stop a soul ablaze with desire and a heart fiercely committed to action. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. Words, no matter how beautiful, fade like ink on aging paper. Actions, no matter how bold, can be dusted over by time. But emotions, the joy shared, the warmth given, the peace of being understood, they live forever in others' hearts, like a clear stream nourishing memories. People may forget sounds, forget images, but they never forget the gentle touch upon their soul. So, in every moment you live, every glance, every smile, leave behind a ripple of positivity. For sometimes, you don't need to do something grand. Just a small act of kindness can become a light in someone's darkness, and that is how you become immortal in the hearts of others. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. Albert Camus. Winter is a symbol of challenges, sadness, and loneliness that can freeze us in despair. But deep within, there exists an enduring vitality, an inner summer where light never fades, where faith and hope cannot be extinguished. This reminds us that true strength comes not from the outside, but from a heart that perseveres, a soul that warms itself amid the storm. That invincible summer may not always blaze brightly, but it lingers quietly like a small flame, enough to light the way through long winter days. When you realize this, you truly understand. Happiness is not about escaping winter, but about carrying summer within you to walk through it all. If you want to make your dreams come true, the first thing you must do is wake up. J.M. Power. We all have dreams, aspirations to soar high, but dreams will remain drifting clouds if we don't take a step on solid ground. Waking up here is not just opening your eyes to a new day, but awakening your will, daring to face challenges, daring to act instead of daydreaming. A seed only sprouts when planted in the soil and nurtured daily. Likewise, dreams only blossom when fed with discipline, effort, and persistence. Let each morning be a reminder. Don't sleep through your dreams. Wake up to make them real. For only when you wake and act, do the impossible, become the radiant reality of your life. Always remember that your focus determines your reality. George Lucas. The mind is like sunlight. When spread wide, it brings gentle warmth, but when focused through a lens, it can spark fire, turning the impossible into reality. Our lives are not shaped by chance or luck, but largely by where we direct our attention. If you fixate on failure, your reality becomes dark and heavy. But if you turn your gaze toward opportunity, focusing on the good, your reality will bloom, becoming a garden of hope. Reality is not a fixed wall, but a mirror reflecting your mind. Choose what you want to see. Give it your full attention, for where there is focus, there is life. Do not put off till tomorrow what can be done today. Abraham Lincoln. Tomorrow is still a mystery, but today is a true gift in your hands. Procrastination is like invisible dust, quietly covering dreams and eroding passion. In contrast, when you act now, seizing every moment, each small task completed today is a brick laid for tomorrow's success. Picture life as a field. If you lazily keep the seeds in the sack, you cannot hope for a harvest tomorrow. But if you sow the seeds today, tending the soil with persistence, tomorrow will surely bloom with vibrant fruits. So, start whenever you can, For the greatest power lies not in tomorrow, but in the moment you decide to act today. Let the future tell the truth and judge each person by their work and achievements. The present is theirs. The future, for which I have toiled, is mine. Nikola Tesla. In the present, you may be doubted, misjudged, or unrecognized, but the future is a fair mirror, where every seed of effort will blossom, where achievements cannot be hidden. Today's work is a contract sent to tomorrow. Those who live carelessly will be forgotten, while those who live wholeheartedly will be etched in accomplishments. So, don't be troubled by others' judgments in the present. Work with all your passion and persistence, so that when the future opens its door, it will speak on your behalf. For the present may belong to others, but the future nurtured by your sweat and aspirations will always be yours. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. Dreams are like tiny seeds. If you believe in them and nurture them, they will grow into a lush forest. The beauty of a dream lies not in its fantasy, but in the faith that transforms the unreal into reality. Those who believe in their dreams have the strength to walk when the path is dim, and the resolve to stand firm when reality is filled with doubt. And that faith, like an unquenchable flame, will light every step, leading you to a radiant future. For without dreams, we merely repeat the present, but by daring to dream and believe in its beauty, we create a promising tomorrow. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. John Lennon. I am not alone. In every breath of a dream, there's an invisible community where kindred hearts share the aspiration to soften the world's sharp edges. I send that hope like a seed into the earth, not with fanfare, not with force, but quietly sprouting and growing through love, kindness, and small daily acts. One day, if you join our rhythm, not with grand declarations, but with a compassionate glance, a helping gesture, a choice for harmony, this world will be less torn, less lonely, and gradually become one. Imagine walls melting like morning mist under the dawn of compassion, and differences that once made us strangers, now weaving patterns in the same human tapestry. Don't fear being called a dreamer. Sometimes it's the dream that maps the way to a truer, kinder world. And if you believe, if you act, we can together write that future. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Winston Churchill. The pessimist stands before an open door, fixating on its rusted lock, missing the room full of light beyond. In contrast, the optimist, facing a rock in their path, sees it as a stepping stone to climb higher. Difficulties are inevitable tests on the journey, but it's our attitude that makes the difference. If we fear, we'll be buried under their weight. But if we trust, we'll turn them into springboards, into chances to grow and break through. The world doesn't bend to our wishes, but it softens when we change how we see it. So, choose to be an optimist. See in the storm the seed of hope. See in the darkness the chance for your own light to shine. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Franklin D. Roosevelt. In truth, difficulties, challenges, or failures are never the greatest enemy. The real enemy is the fear within our minds, which can bind our feet, extinguish our will, and make us give up before we even start. Fear often wears an exaggerated cloak, turning a small path into a chasm, a pebble into a towering mountain. But when we dare to face it, we see it's just a trembling shadow under the light. Our true strength lies not in avoidance, but in the courage to move forward, even with a trembling heart, on a foggy path. Once you overcome fear, you find freedom, discover your vastness, and see the world is not as daunting as you once thought. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. A ready-made path is easy, for others have cleared and trodden it. But for that reason, it's crowded, bustling, and lacks novelty. The courageous choose to venture where no one has stepped, where weeds still cover the ground and shadows loom large. Yet there, each of their steps carves a trail, blazing a path for those who follow. Creativity, discovery, success, all spring from that daring to be different. And one day, looking back, you'll see you didn't just pass through life, but left a mark, proof that you existed, burned brightly, and forged a unique path. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Henry David Thoreau. A dream is like a lighthouse in the dark sea. Though storms may rage, its light steadfastly guides the way, and you, with each confident step, are the ship sailing forth. Living the life you imagined is not a miraculous leap, but a series of small, steady choices, choosing kind words over silence, courageous action over hesitation, patience over haste. These small bricks build the house of your dreams. When you take a firm step, guided by your dream, you declare that the world can be reshaped by faith, by will, and by the beauty of consistent actions. Let each step be a proclamation. I am worthy of the dreams I nurture. I don't wait for miracles. I am the miracle. And when you live by that vision, not only are you healed, but those who walk with you feel that miracle too, like warm sunlight through a window, gentle yet strong enough to bring a morning to life.